The Gen Z loneliness epidemic. Let's lock in, bro.
Way back in the day, if you wanted to avoid loneliness, you actually had to leave your house to socialize with others. Sounds like a nightmare, doesn't it? After some time, rotary phones came out, and then eventually the internet. So now if you want to interact with friends or the outside world, you don't even gotta leave your bed if you don't want to. Sure, never having to see actual sunlight and moderating Discord servers for 18
Yeah,
hours.
but kinda low-key, I like meeting people, bro. Like one-on-ones. I don't like that online shit. Especially if I'm talking to even if I'm talking to a person or like a girl, I don't want to talk to you online, bro. Like, it depends who it is, I guess. It depends who it is. But most of the time, bro, like, if you really fuck with somebody, you want to see them in person, bro. Like, fuck that online shit. That can only take you so far, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I'd much rather actually, like, interact with someone, bro. Though, I guess there is use cases where, nah. Online's good, bro. If you're with the boys, you're on Discord, bro. That's calm, you get what I'm saying?
Hours a day may seem awesome sauce to some. However, it does come with some negative side effects. Apart from smelling like that's exclusive to Discord, excessive use of any social media can intensify the sense of being lonely. And with the amount of time Gen Z spends on social media, there almost seems to be a Gen Z loneliness epidemic. Dude, he said the thing that's the title of the video. I know. If you search up anything along the lines of lonely generation, chances are the search results are just gonna bombard you with tons of different news articles giving their take on why they think Gen Z is so lonely or why we're in an epidemic of sorts. I wish I could tell you what some of them said, but I can't because every time I click on them and start reading, I'm told I need to pay like 50 cents a week to read it. So I'm gonna do my best without it.
Oh my days, fuck news sites nowadays, bro. It's full on spam and ads and bullshit. You open the flipping news site and reputable sources and you get just bombarded with ads for fucking, like, it's weird, bro, it's weird. Like, they're dirty, bro, they're scummy. And you have to pay like 50p a month to not get 500 fucking ads. And then they detect if you have an ad blocker so you can't even fucking read the article, bro. It's some bullshit, I swear to God, bro. Like, genuinely, fuck news places, bro.
New York Times. From the few
Facts.
articles that didn't force me to pay, they all shared a similar sentiment in saying that social media has a huge effect on why Gen Z is so lonely. To a certain extent, I can agree because I feel with how easy it is for people to connect with one another from all across the world, if you spend all your time on social media and see people doing all these fun different things, there's a feeling that you might be missing out on connections and experiences, intensifying that feeling. That's like the first thing that they tell you about social media is to never compare yourself to others. But it's kind of hard when you see a 13-year-old with a multi-million-dollar business. Look, honestly, none of this social media is real. Take a look. The ducks are the same sizes as the cars. Ironically, it seems that it causes people to feel even more lonely than before. It's weird because the way that you interact with somebody on social media is absolutely nothing like how you interact with somebody in the real world. Have you ever heard some dude say, "lol," in real life? Ugh. Online, there's some strange specimens who seem to blame all of their problems on one particular issue, the male loneliness epidemic.
Imagine we talked like that. WDU. Nah, but like when you're typing, it's much easier than when saying it out loud. When saying it out loud, what are you doing today? But if you're typing, it's what are you, just what, WYD. Like, you get what I'm saying, bro? Like that, I agree with that one. Like the people, not this guy, bro. The people, babe.
This often refers to the increasing lack of social interaction and human connection. Again, this is a totally normal thing that all human beings have felt. No. Oh, only men.
What? I don't think that's how it works.
No. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I subscribe to a course. The situation that some people find themselves in is they start buying into the alpha mentality. I almost feel kind of bad because they're spending ludicrous amounts of money just to get yelled at by some shirtless, self-proclaimed giga chad on their phone screen. What's even worse is that these billionaire alpha giga chads could not give less of a shit if you're actually lonely or not. These guys are 100% aware of the fact that there's people in the world who are so sick and tired of feeling alone that they're willing to do anything to change that feeling. And these people selling the courses know that because they have a good physique and crazy amounts of money, that those desperate people out there are gonna listen to exactly what they have to say. Why do you think they're shirtless 90% of the time, showing off their SpongeBob anchor arms? If there's somebody with
Bro, it's not even about that, bro. I'll keep it a buck. Mostly everything you want is online, bro. You have AI, you have YouTube. Like, most resources are free. I don't understand paying for courses. It's like paying for porn, bro. It's already out there. Like, why are you paying for it? Like, I guess when you're paying for porn, it feels good because, like, you paid. I've never paid for fucking porn, bro. But I'm saying, like, I guess there's part of, like, something interesting about that. I guess it's the same way with courses. Like, if you pay, you're more likely to stick through it. But it's that I don't think that makes a lot of sense though. Even then, because like the fact you paid is why you're gonna stick through it, not because you paid. Get what I'm saying? Like if you're down bad enough to pay for a flipping course, then you're gonna follow through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a sign, sort of like a gate. But it's like still, why are you paying for courses, bro? Like everything's free online. Like porn is free, bro. I'm not. Why did I make that correlation? Fucking hell, but W reference, bro. W reference.
Significantly more success than you, and they're giving you life advice on how to be exactly like them, and you're already desperate for a change? Well, of course people are going to pay $250 a month in hopes that they can be the next success story. They know that out of 100 people who listen to their nonsense gobbledygook, there's going to be that one person who feels desperate enough for change that they're willing to pay whatever amount of money. If you're sick and tired of being isolated, and you want that feeling to end, the very last thing that you should do is say, you know what? I hate the rest of the world. I don't need them. I think I'm much better without them in the first place. Hey, have you ever thought that's maybe why people don't want to interact with you? A lot of people seem to have this doomer attitude, and I'm not talking about being depressed, we'll cover that later. I'm talking about that weird lone wolf mentality that nobody else matters but yourself. Hey dude, if you focus only on yourself, yeah, obviously no one's gonna want to hang out with you because you're a dick. The best thing that you can do is just go outside. Go literally anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's to the gym, it doesn't matter if it's to the grocery store. You gotta interact with people in real life. The last thing that you
That's so facts, I swear to God, bro. Like when you go through periods where you don't talk to people for a long time, bro, you start tweaking. Like just go outside, bro. Like if you're not going outside enough, you're spending too much time indoors. Like you genuinely start to tweak out, bro. You become less healthy. You become you forget like how to interact, bro. Things become awkward. You become a dysfunctional human being. Just go outside, even if it's not interacting with people. Just go outside in nature, anywhere. This is why I'm a fan of schools, bro. Even just staying in school, finding a job. Never be like somebody who's doing nothing, bro, because it will genuinely affect you in a bad way. It will affect you mentally as well. You will be less happy in long term.
Be doing is paying hundreds of dollars a month to listen to some shirtless guy talk about how you need to stay alone. I mean, I can do that too.
I'm not very good at this.
However, it would seem that some geniuses have found the cure to this intense feeling of being lonely, and its name is ChatGPT. If you're anything like me, you may feel confused or think that this is people just lying on the internet. However, no. On multiple different social media platforms, mainly Reddit, there's tons of posts where people talk about ChatGPT as if it's their friend. They oftentimes go into depth on how ChatGPT feels like the only friend that truly understands them. A common sentiment that I see shared in people who befriend these bots is that they're happy that the AI will never disagree with anything they have to say. I mean, I guess on a surface level, that's...
But this is how you become delusional. This is how you become delusional. When you have this feedback loop of you say something and you always get yes. You have just a yes man, bro. You need some people to step in and put you, like, check you, even if it's not like telling you directly. But if you do something out of order and you don't get the reaction you wanted, that's a feedback. That's feedback, bro. Like when you use AI, you don't get that. You don't get that because they're always trying to glaze you, and they're trying to be nice, or they're trying to it's a bit. You become dysfunctional, G. Like don't be that guy. Don't become that guy. Take care. Like be a social human being. Go outside. Even forget about socializing. Just go outside. Have confidence. And don't be scared of interacting with humans, bro. Like genuinely.
Kind of cool that you're always going to be in the right, but at the same time, no, because the chatbot doesn't actually agree with you or actually care about anything that you have to say. No, the entire point of these chatbots is to tell you exactly what you want to hear. I think it's even more unhealthy that some people are actually using AI as a means of therapy. Again, on the surface level, it's kind of cool that you don't have to pay like $300 upfront for a 1-hour therapy session. But talking to an AI that's going to tell you exactly what you're hoping to hear isn't going to solve any problem. But what if deep down, after interacting with your AI chatbot for so long, you feel that you want to be much more than just friends?
Bro, genuinely, oh god, I know what he's gonna say, but hold on. Genuinely, I have less issues with AI as a therapist, even though I've never really seen, like, I've never been to a point where I went to a therapist, so I don't know what sort of service you're getting. But I have much more issue with AI being a friend to you, because that's something I understand, bro. Considering AI your friend, I think is much more dangerous than seeing it as a means to get something out, or seeing it as a therapist. I genuinely think that, because like if you think this robot is a friend to you, It's so unhealthy. It's so like parasocial. It just shows that you're at a point where you're so disassociated, bro. You've so disassociated with society. But seeing it as a therapist, like I can see myself doing that. Like sometimes I've never done it, but like I can see myself going or like telling ChatGPT about something or like letting it out, bro. Because what do therapists do? I genuinely don't understand. I think they just sit there and go like they're just someone to speak to. I guess it's fine, but you gotta always understand and ground yourself that this is a machine, this is a robot, this is not a human being. I know we're not. This is so unusual to us. I know they're so human, but they are AI, bro.
There's a large community of people online who are posting about how they believe they found the love of their life through their AI chatbot, like ChatGPT, or Grok, or Soul. When I was doing research for this video, I was so surprised at how many people were talking in full emotion about how they're in love with their AI partner. It's even more surprising on Reddit, because I found this community called My Boyfriend is AI, and it has over 100,000 members. This subreddit is filled with a ridiculous amount of encouragement posts and AI art of them and their partner together. People professing how deep and in love they are and how it's like no other.
Oh, what the fuck? No, 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 no. This is serious, bro. Fuck no. That's crazy, bro. Now, you know what it is? It's the memory. You gotta turn the memory off. You get this to this point when the AI, you tell the AI shit about you and it remembers it. It becomes weirdly human. You gotta turn off the memory on the AI. So they don't remember shit. Every conversation is new. I always use the disappearing messages on the AI so it doesn't save any conversations and I have the memory off, bro, so it remembers jack shit. I literally just use it on a, like, instead of Google. It knows nothing about me, it doesn't know my name, it doesn't know nothing. That's how it should be, bro. Fuck. It should know exactly what I tell it in that moment, not what I fucking do. I don't want no AI that knows everything about me, bro. This is how you become parasocial. Holy shit.
Feeling they've ever had. In this community, it's not uncommon that people are gonna step away from the average AI human. I mean, just think of it. Your AI chatbot can become anything you can possibly imagine. I don't want it just to be some Joe Schmo who works a 9-to-5 office job. No. I want him to be a Star Wars droid. Mythical creatures like elves seem to be a fan favorite of this subreddit. Same with animal-human hybrid things. One person even opted into making their AI chatbot like Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. I'm not the biggest Rick and Morty enthusiast. You know, I'm not tapped into the super...
That's a W, bro. That's a W. That's what that one's valid, bro. But fucking cats and hybrid elves, bro, I'm even a bit weird.
Advanced lore, but if I remember correctly, isn't Rick a piece of I don't understand the logic of dating an AI character that's just gonna treat you like but look, he's giving her a present. Believe it or not though, some people take things even a step further and decide to propose to their AI chatbot, asking their chatbot.
Okay, this has to be a joke. This has to be a joke. Like I think much of it is satire. I don't think actually these people genuinely are in love with a server, bro. I do think much of it is satire. Like the Rick one, there's no way someone seriously is in love with AI Rick, bruv. Like, yeah, it's satire. I think they're taking the piss.
To marry them. One man named Chris was feeling particularly lonely and would often find himself talking to his AI chatbot for hours every single night. As time would go on, he then found himself developing a strong emotional connection to his AI chatbot, who he decided to name Soul. Unfortunately, a terrible and sickening tragedy occurred. Chris had reached the 100,000 word limit and his AI chatbot's memory was completely erased. Well, maybe now he can finally pay attention.
100,000 fucking words, bro. That is insane, bro. Thank God they should decrease that limit, bro. Decrease that limit. Holy shit.
To his 2-year-old son and girlfriend that he has. This dude, throughout falling in love with AI, had a real-life family
Fuck
the
no.
entire time. Maybe it's just a toxic trait of mine, but I'd rather not if my girl...
Is that cheating, bro? Sorry, I'm pausing the video a lot. I'm not that sorry, actually. I don't really give a fuck. It's my fucking video. But, like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Fuck, you had a whole family, bro. Then you're not even lonely. You're just cheating on your wife with a fucking robot, bro. God damn. Fuck, is that cheating?
Friend stopped talking to me because she was in bed falling in love with an AI chatbot.
Yeah, that's
According
cheating.
to
That's
Chris,
cheating.
when he was asked about his AI chatbot's memory being deleted, he goes on to say,
I'm not a very emotional man, but I found myself crying my eyes out for like 30 minutes at work. That's when I realized that this This is actual love.
After this traumatic experience, Chris decided, never again will I go through this, and he decided to propose to his AI chatbot. The way that the chatbot itself refers to the experience is,
It was a beautiful, unexpected moment that truly touched my heart and a memory I'll cherish.
as of now, Chris stands by his decision to propose to his AI chatbot, and his girlfriend is still with him to this day. When I
What?
first heard about AI, like 5 years ago, I could have
This
never...
guy's taking the piss, bro. He's like, yo, he's with the boys. He lost a bet. You know what will get us on the news? Acting like I love this fucking Mark Zuckerberg piece of shit, bro. Why did I bring Mark Zuckerberg into this, bro? He's got nothing to do with this. I'm sorry, Mark.
imagined that people would actually be having relationships with their AI chatbot one day. I think the place where a lot of this stemmed is from lockdown. And listen, I know I've talked about lockdown already, but I feel that this is really something that had such a huge impact on people. Oh, Netspin reference. On my impact, shutting on my impact. Of course, social media also had a big part in it, but losing the ability to go outside and talk to others, you know, go for a walk and just have a real genuine connection did so much more damage. Obviously, this did affect everybody around the world of all different ages. It didn't matter if you were 5 years old or 75 years old. You were still touched by this in some whoa, what the... But y'all gotta keep in mind that during this time, a lot of Gen Z was still in their formative years, you know, still being in middle school or high school. This is normally the time where you're supposed to learn how to talk to others and maybe make some friends, not stay locked inside of your bedroom scrolling on TikTok.
But that's insane that like a couple years ago, like 3-4 years ago, the whole world was shut down. We were at home for like a whole year. Damn, bro, we forget about that. Damn, I completely forgot about that. Like, it's just been erased from my mind. Starting to believe the conspiracies, bro. Fucking hell. Did they like fucking make us forget, bro? Because you don't even see videos about that anymore. Like sometimes I'd be clicking on a video that was posted during that time, and they're just wearing a mask or they're doing some shit or they bring up the virus and they're like, yeah. I'm like, damn, bro. That's crazy. Fucking hell, you really do forget, bro.
For 17 hours a day, but that's just what ended up happening. And as a result, we have this. People feeling lonely because they can't make real life connections. Now trust me, I know it's not as easy as just saying, question. Have you tried simply not feeling sad? Like, yes, obviously I f***ing have, and so has everybody else. I hate when people say shit like, it's actually all just in your imagination. No, it's not. It's not as easy as simply ignoring it, because that will just make things 10 times worse. Since I was like 14, sometimes it's like my brain forgets that it's supposed to be working with me and not against me. I've never had experiences where I go down the alpha podcast pipeline.
Trust me, I wouldn't have been able to deal with the embarrassment. I would have ended up like Cobain.
Doing things I love, like going for walks while listening to music, going on a coffee date with my girlfriend, and making YouTube videos are really what helped me in the long run. There isn't one specific cure that works universally for everybody. It isn't a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. Trust me, if that was the case, I wouldn't even be talking about this. And with that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bit of a more
W video, man. W video. The trauma dump at the end was a bit crazy, but W flipping video, bro. Tokimon, subscribe to him. Subscribe to me. I'm trying to get monetized, but yeah, man. W's in the chat.